What do you think about it? What are some of your potential solutions to ensure that this doesn't happen again in the future? And then you don't just leave it there. You also bring the common solutions that came up with the other group that isn't currently facing burnout or has faced burnout in the past. And you have a conversation with them like, do you think this would work? What are your thoughts on it? You're not currently experiencing stress, but were these some of the reasons why you experienced stress in the past? Were there some other reasons that you experienced stress in the past? And what are some of the solutions that you would like to add on? And then you bring the groups together and you kind of have a bigger conversation about what are some policies or some things that we can get started on right away. Because once again, you can't jump into the entire scenario like, yes, let's create 10 things that we are going to follow. No. That's not going to work. That's going to end as quickly as it started. What are the simplest steps that we can take to ensure that this doesn't happen? And how can we add on to it? And so once again, having those conversations is really crucial because you're not just coming from the assumption of this might work. You're coming in from the confirmation from your team and from your leaders that this is something that they think will work. And there are higher chances of success when you kind of come in and start working from that perspective.
Have you ever done anything like that where you went, okay, what is happening with the unstressed people and what can we learn from that?
This is a work in the progress. I'm going to be real with your team. This is something that I have kind of noticed after working is that, oh, maybe you can do something like this. So this concept is a work in progress because you need to ensure that when you are separating the groups, the people who are burnt out are not in a space of, oh my gosh, they've separated us. What's going to happen? Are we going to get kicked out? Like, no. How can we ensure that it's a safe and judgment-free space for them? So it's a work in progress. I'm still working on it. But I absolutely love what you said because I don't remember who said this quote, but there was a quote about how sometimes the biggest solutions are the simplest solutions. It's simplicity. Mm-hmm. It's at the very core of it all, simplicity. And when it comes to stress, here's the thing, stress is very unique for every individual. What could potentially stress me out could be your zone of genius and vice versa. So I'd be melting into a puddle here and you'd be like, oh, I got this. This is pretty easy. Like, no stress about it at all. And so everyone experiences stress differently. What works with a lot of people who don't experience stress in their day-to-day life is there are chances that when they have had a stressful day, after coming back, they do something to de-stress themselves, right? So there are stress relief activities that they take part in that ensures that their body gets rid of all the tension, all the chemicals that were running and creating havoc in their body are kind of released in a way that's healthy for them. And they come back to the normal. They come back to the normal instead of being at the highest high or the lowest lows. Right. And the thing that amps up this entire process, if they then go ahead and think about, well, this is something that led me to experience stress today. And I've noticed that this thing keeps happening multiple times. I've noticed it in the past. I might potentially notice it in the future that this one thing leads me to experience stress every single time it happens. And so what can I do about it? What can I do to either change the situation or change my perception of the situation? Mm-hmm. Those two things together is the best stress. Like this is the core stress management hack that I tell to my clients all the time. It's two very simple things. You need to work on your stress relief, which can be fun. Doesn't need to be annoying. It doesn't need to be like sitting in a spot and meditating for 30 minutes when that's not your jam. Okay, do something else that works for you, that helps you relieve that stress. But then also talk about or think about what can you do to change your perception or change the situation of what leads you to experience stress every single time a situation like this occurs. And so that together creates the ultimate stress management routine you could ever create for yourself.